today's video we're actually going to be talking about Kickoff Credit Builder. That's K-I-K-O-F-F, not K-I-C-K, okay, O-F-F, all right? Kickoff Credit Builder. And we're talking about the pros and cons, all right? Because I know a lot of people are getting excited, and Kickoff's been around for a few years now. And people are like, oh, my credit score jumped up 70 points. My credit score jumped up 50 points. Well, I'm finna give you the dirty, okay? The pros and cons, so you can understand and you can make your own decision. Now, the understanding with Kickoff, anybody can get approved, so that's good. That's good. Anybody can get approved. They give you a line of credit up to $500, okay? And so with this line of credit, you can't buy physical product. You can only buy digital products. Their digital products range from $10 to $20. Now, here's the thing about it. Say that they give you a $500 line of credit. I would tell you, this is why most people, they're probably not even aware of why their credit score is boosting. They're probably using less than 10% utilization. Instead of using 30% utilization on your line of credit, if you use 10% or less, you get a higher credit score increase. Okay, so that's the reason that you want to do it like that. All right, now, like I said, it's in 48 states. I think Indiana and I think another state is the only two states that they don't do business in. Nonetheless, like I said, it's in 48 states. The digital products, that most of the digital products, they're educational products, financial products and stuff like that. Okay, but make sure that if you decide to get this here Kickoff line of credit, make sure that you keep it under 10% utilization, because that's going to give you the highest impact. Now, that being said, who do they report to? They report to Equifax and Experian. All right, now they give you your Equifax Vantage score. All right, and I want to bring this to your attention because this is where the game changes. You know, this is where the game changes, so you can understand. They give you a Vantage 3 score. 90% of the banks, they pull your FICO score. And I've told you guys, even like with Credit Karma gives you your Vantage score, right? Okay, your Vantage score can be off between 50 to 80 points. So in terms of, yes, your credit score may go up, all right, but you have to understand that that's on the Vantage side. Your credit score goes up on the FICO side as well, but it may not be as, the numbers may not be as high, okay? So you definitely would have to think about that. So if you get a boost of 50, 70 points, that's your Vantage score, all right? Another thing I want to tell you guys, say that you're just building credit and you don't have nothing on a credit file, and you're trying to build new credit, and Kickoff is what you get. With Vantage score, it takes 30 days to get a credit file built up. With FICO, you may be looking at 60 days for that trade line to show up, okay? So just remember that. Now, that being said, is it something good? Since it reports to Equifax and Experian, yes, it's a positive trade line. Now, in a separate video, I did tell you guys, if you have bad credit, okay, then you would have to have, for that one bad credit trade line on your file. That guy wants to be on camera, but that being said, for one bad trade line on your credit file, it's usually about 2 to 3. I would say 2 to 3 positive trade lines you have to add to make up for that one negative item. Okay, so that's something you need to know. Now, what is your alternative? What is your alternative? Well, your alternative, you may want to look at Self-Lend, right? Self-Lender. Now with Self-Lender, they report to all 3 credit bureaus, okay? And so they do secured credit cards, and their secured accounts go from $600 up to $1,800, okay? And they report to all 3 credit bureaus. Now, if I was rebuilding my credit, these guys are clowns. They just really, they clowning today, right? But hey, anyway, there you go. Anyway, back to what I was saying. If I wanted to have a bigger impact and make sure that I'm in the best position to get larger lines of credit, I may want to consider working with the credit unions. Okay, and the top credit union, if you're able to get it joined, would probably be Navy Federal. Now, the reason why, because with Navy Federal, their accounts, they more or less don't focus on the credit score, they focus on their internal score. That many of you guys that follow me, you always hear me say about the internal score. Now, with the internal score with Navy Federal, goes from 100 to 450. Now, if you have bad credit starting out, I always tell you, make sure that you get the N Rewards card, because you can only, because you can just put $200 down, and after 6 months of good payment history, then that turns into a unsecured card up to $2,000 or more, okay? Then you have the Navy Federal Pledge Loan. Now here's something that some people ask. How many pledge loans should I have? All right. Well, if you are rebuilding the credit and stuff, you really don't need no more than one. But if you're trying to get in good graces with Navy Federal, the maximum amount of pledge loans you should have on your credit file at one time, I would say I would not go above 2. Okay, you don't have to overdo it. Just make sure that you're making your payments on time. All right. So, like I said, I guess that's my cue. These guys, they're clowning today, you know. So, if you have any questions about personal credit, business credit funding, then click the link in the description and schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.